every organization wants to base their business management decision on intelligence, on accurate data. And you frequently, when you're dealing with your org, you calculate sophisticated statistics, make involved calculations, and the tool to use in every case can be different. In one case, you may use Flow. In the next case, you may use reports, for example. And if you're dealing with industries, Salesforce Industries, the tool to use, that decision, becomes even more complicated because there are additional tools that are available to you. Industries solutions have data processing engine, business rules engine. You still have flows. You have a lot of solutions available. Now, first of all, you should always use the tool that you already know if it fits the case at hand, right? That's very important. I'm going to show you an example where I'm going to do calculations using Flow, and I'm going to write that data on the account record. Now, this example is going to obviously resonate with nonprofit cloud users or industry users a little bit better than others, but this solution can be used in any org, in any Salesforce org. So without further ado, let's jump into the use case and let me show you what I'm going to do and how I built it. Enjoy. I'm working on this demo org by Salesforce that has nonprofit cloud setup. Nonprofit cloud is based on industries, and industry solution demo orgs are going to be very similar. If you're working on communications cloud, automotive cloud, life sciences, there are many different industry solutions that are going to be quite similar here. Now, this comes set up with a very sophisticated data model with a lot of different fields, dashboards. You see, this is the nonprofit mission control here that does a lot of the calculations for you. You think that when you walk into this, you are going to find most of the fields that you need, right? But that's not always the case. You always have different unique requirements that you have to calculate and you have to prepare. Now, what I want to do here is, first, I want to walk you through the business model a little bit, and then I'm going to tell you what use case I'm building, and then I will walk you through my solution, how I built it. Now, first of all, let me show you what kind of tools we have at hand. Now, data processing engine here under setup is a tool that you can use to do calculations. You can do roll-ups, you can calculate ratios and things like that, and then you can update that on custom objects or standard objects. In fact, there is a donor gift summary. There's a donor gift summary object here in this data model. And this data processing engine here does that calculation for you. It can run every hour or every night, and it can do those updates for you. Now, if you don't know how this works, it's going to be hard for you to customize this because it is quite difficult. It is sophisticated, right? It's a completely different type of low code kind of you need to master. If you have needs that are custom to your organization, you may want to calculate new data and new ratios. And the other limitation of the data processing engine is with your license, you have limited computational hours that you can use. So if you try to do this real time, you are going to quickly run out of your limits and you're not going to be able to do this real time. If you're going to go to real time, most probably Flow or Apex are going to be your best friends. A lot of this used to be done on the NPSP side, either out of the box with the NPSP package, or people used to add the DLRS package, declarative rollup summaries package on top of the NPSP implementations to do some of these rollups. Now, in this case, what I want to do is I want to calculate the ratio of fulfillment for donors. What is their commitment for donations and what ratio of that commitment have they paid already in the current year? So that's a ratio I want to calculate. And when doing so, it's important that we understand the data model. Now, in the data model, we have obviously the accounts here. This is based on person account. So we have this Mike Garcia account. And under the Mike Garcia account, we can have opportunities, right? We can follow up on opportunities and try to get commitments or payment from donors. But the transactions themselves, the commitment will be tracked under gift commitments. This is where you record and note what kind of a donation that Mike Garcia promised to pay, in what time frame. Like in this case, for example, Mike Garcia committed to pay $100,000 in donations. And there is another object here for transactions. So the gift transaction itself, the payment, is going to be tracked here. So we want to sum the transactions, we want to sum the commitments, and then we want to look at the ratio of that to see the fulfillment of donations on the donor side. And I want to also kind of segment the donors here into buckets of gold, silver, and bronze based on the donation that they have done within the current fiscal year. Now, all that I can do using a flow. So I'm going to quickly jump on my flow here and show you what I have done. So I wanted to have the flexibility of how to display this one and distribute this flow in my org. That's why I have done an auto launch flow, and that auto launch flow I could use under a screen flow, under a scheduled triggered flow. That is completely up to me, and I have made some of the parameters here flexible. So let me just show you first how this works using the Salesforce UI on the account record, and then we can jump into the flow. So this is Mike Garcia, and on Mike Garcia, I have actually a button that I have added. This is a quick action that says calculate current year fulfillment. Now, when I press this button, it's going to launch a screen flow, and the screen flow completed successfully. And that screen flow is going to call my auto launch subflow. And this process will update 4 fields on the record. So one of them is the membership level based on the gift paid already within this year. Gift commitment in the current year, 100,000. Gift paid in the current year, 50,000, and the ratio of that, 50%, is going to be the gift fulfillment rate for this particular donor. So all these will be calculated on the fly, on demand, when the user clicks this button. And there are several other ways we can actually trigger this. I'm just going to show you that in a minute. Now, let me just jump into my flow. So this is my auto launch flow. My auto launch flow is right here. It has a couple of input parameters. So I'm just going to go directly to debug to show you. Now, it's going to ask a start date. It's going to ask an end date and a record ID. And that record ID is meant for the account. So what happens when I feed the Mike account in here, for example? Let me just grab the Mike account ID and paste that in there. I made these parameters optional. If I don't enter the end date, it's going to assume the flow current date. And if I don't enter the start date, it's going to assume the start date is the first day of this current year. So I built formulas into my flow to do that. Now I'm going to run this. And when I run this, it's going to calculate all these numbers for me. Let's expand the debug log and look at it. All right, so what this does is it gets all the gift commitments. And our criteria here is that the donor ID is the account ID that we're feeding into the flow. And the start date is January 1st of the current year. And the end date is the current date. And the flow found the record successfully. Now we do the same thing for paid gift transactions. And here we are going to use the transform element to calculate the sum of all the commitments. And we'll do the same to calculate the sum of all transactions. We used to have to loop for this. We don't really have to do that anymore, which is tremendous. It's very efficient. Now I'm going to assign the outputs to output variables because I cannot really mark the variables that are the output variables of these transform elements and the get elements available for output. I would have to assign these into the variables that I intentionally create and mark available as output. So those values will be assigned. I can see that the membership level is bronze. The gift commitment total is 100,000. Paid gift is 50,000 and the rate is 50%. So let's see how it's built over here in detail inside the elements. So I have a get that gets all the gift commitments. Effective start date is compared to a start date formula. I'll show you why I did that in a minute. Effective start date has to be less than or equal the end date formula, and the donor ID has to be the record ID, the account ID. Now we do the same thing here with paid transactions, and we take the transaction completion date as comparison. We calculate the sum here. The way we do this is on the right hand side, we will create a currency variable, not a collection, a single variable. And then we will connect the left side, which is the output collection of the get step, to the right side. You will have to click on the left resource at the collection level, not at the field level, and then you will connect it to the right side. And once you do that, you are going to see this screen where you can decide whether you want to calculate count or sum. As soon as you select sum, it's going to ask you which field would you like to sum, and there you would say expected total commitment amount, for example, for this commitment transform element. We do the same for the paid side, and we assign the outputs. As you can see, gift commitment variable, gift paid variable, fulfillment rate variable, membership level variable. And these are all output variables marked available as output. Now the formulas, the start date formula is going to check whether the input is blank or not. If the input is blank, it's going to assume that the date needs to be the 1st of January of the current year. So it's defaulting to that. Start date formula is going to default to flow current date when it is blank. That makes sense. That's what the use case requires. And the fulfillment rate formula is simply paid transaction sum divided by commitment sum multiplied by 100. And our kind of segmentation or tiering for membership will be done with a nested if formula, and we are going to check this sum of donations against 50,000 and 100,000. So if it's less than 50,000, it's bronze. 50 to 100,000 is going to be silver, and then above 100,000, the donor is going to be considered gold. So we do all that, and all that information is going to be passed to the parent flow. So what is the parent flow in this case? In this particular case, where we assign this flow to a quick action button, we use the screen flow here, right? So what does the screen flow do? Most of the logic is within the auto launch subflow. So it's just going to pass the account record ID resource. It's going to pass to the subflow. I can set the running flow interview current date as the end date, or I can just leave that blank because it's going to default to that anyway. And these are all the outputs that will come back from my subflow. And I'm going to update the account with all these field values and I will just simply show a success screen. I utilized the new message component for this informational message. It's as simple as that. Now, would I want to update this every time when the user clicks a button? Probably not. I would probably want to update this via a schedule triggered flow, and I have done that as well. The beauty is I don't really have to repeat all this logic. It's in my auto launched. It will be again called as a Subflow. Now you'll see this schedule triggered flow over here where the object is the account, and it's running starting today every day at 8 p.m. It's going to run daily. It's going to call the calculate fields Subflow, and in the end, update the account record. There's not a lot of processing happening here. There's no loops. It's just leveraging the transform element. So this is going to be very efficient, especially when it's running once a day like this, not real time. But if I really wanted this information real time, there is absolutely no reason why I couldn't make this part of a record triggered flow. Whenever, for example, a new commitment is posted or updated, whenever a new paid transaction is posted or updated, I can trigger this update immediately. It depends on what kind of performance levels I'm looking for, whether this is going to affect my org's performance, what is my data recency requirements or update frequency that I need. It all depends on that. So enjoy the solution. If you have any questions, just submit those in the comments. I respond to all of the questions. Enjoy and give me a like and subscribe on the YouTube channel. Have a great day.